patch notes are live, but now I ask, what if? Hey YouTube, it's your boy JJ. And with less than a week away from Marvel Rivals Season 2, is it too early to say RIP to the homie Bucky Barnes? Now, if you're like me and you watch a lot of Marvel Rivals streamers, Marvel Rivals Invitationals, or you've hit the ban ranks, then you know Bucky is heavily banned, almost 90% of the time, and OP, not to mention really fun to play. And before you say it, yes, we all knew he was going to get nerfed, but does this solve the Bucky hate? Or do they go further with nerfing his other abilities, adding heroes that counter him? Who knows? Let's take the time to give our valiant Winter Soldier his flowers and turn our attention to the Marvel Rivals Season 2 patch notes and all the dark, devious possibilities the devs are planning, including Emma Frost? Oh yeah, and if you like the content, throw your boy a like and subscribe. It's free. Want to skip around a bit in the video? Chapters are down below, right in the timeline. So, looking at the patch notes, it seems that the hook regens every 12 seconds now instead of 8, which 4 seconds difference. I don't know if that matters as much. My thoughts were that maybe they were going to reduce the distance that the hook can go, because that thing can go a long way and pull anybody, pull multiple enemies at one time. And I don't know if that's exactly what they intended, but it works. So I'm going to keep doing it until they stop me. The hook also causes damage still, which is good. They did not take that away. So 4 seconds, I don't know if that's going to make too much of a difference. Maybe in quicker fights, but long drawn out fights, you will still get the hook a good amount of times. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is no more Rocket Infinite Ammo. As a Bucky player, Rocket does boost you, but he still is very good without the Rocket Infinite Ammo. If you're hitting enough headshots and if you're positioning well, you still have so much effect on any engagement that I don't know if Infinite Ammo is too much of a setback, but we'll see. So in addition to no infinite ammo and the hook, they super nerfed Kraken Slayer. I had to read this one a couple different times. It wasn't the reduced damage. I swear to y'all, I literally understood that one because it reduced damage from 100 to 80, and they put a but. I'm gonna say and they lowered the culling threshold from 20 to 15% of max health. I think this means the enemy gets an extra 5% to work with, and that's not good for our boy if I'm understanding that correctly. So if you know differently, let me know down in the comments. I would love to get some clarity on this, and I am, oh my goodness, next Friday is going to be interesting playing my boy. Now, the new team up with Cap, Stellar Impact ability, I'm interested to see how that plays. But now you are hoping you have a legit Cap on your team, and we all know that is like having a legit Spider-Man. He gets 130, check my math please y'all, bonus health on his Bionic Arm attacks. So we're talking about his hook, his punch uppercut thingy majiggy, and his E, which is shooting out that great orb, which can knock down flyers. It literally can go through multiple enemies and cause damage. It is amazing. They got rid of none of the bonus health. So you still have 130 bonus health when you are brawling, which I think is a positive. And with all the nerfs, it does give us something, Bucky lovers. Okay, so now that we got the patch notes out of the way, it wasn't as bad as I expected, but we'll see how it plays. Now I want to talk about what if. Yes, what if they did more? Because when season 2 comes out, if he is still doing as much damage, as highly banned, and still effective, they may nerf him into the ground, or like I said before, bring in some new characters to balance him. Now, I showed you earlier this guy, Blade. They've already said he's coming to the game. We just don't know when and in what capacity, but I would imagine he will be a duelist. If you've watched the movies or know anything about Blade, he is great close combat dueling skills and has bonus health, kind of like someone else we know. He has superhuman strength, which would mean he could brawl with Bucky up close and personal. He could also be the next duelist who is really good against tanks because he does have gun skills and fighting skills. And the last one for Blade is his senses. He has heightened senses from being a hybrid vampire. And maybe he's able to detect enemies from further away and have some power to do something about it. Who knows? But I would love to see something like this. Now, last but not least is everyone's favorite hero to talk about, Ultron. If you're in the community, you know he is the biggest talking point and might come to the game. I don't know how you balance him. How do you balance Ultron? I don't get it. We'll see. Because he has superhuman strength and durability, superhuman
3 hours later.
control, gravity. The list goes on and on and on. How do you stop this guy? Who knows? So if you're like me, you're going to keep playing Bucky until they run him into the ground. But over the next week or so, we will see what comes out from the early access plays. We'll get our hands on it here in a week, and we will be able to see for ourselves what they've done to our most beloved Bucky Barnes, aka Winter Soldier, aka ours truly. We're starting a fan club here. I appreciate you for watching. If you made it this far, you must like the content. So go ahead and hit that like button and the subscribe so you know exactly when I'm dropping content and you can stay in the know with all of my Marvel rivals and variety gaming.